The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
Don't know, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, everybody. He's a macho man. Savage, you're listening to Mike Trash, TrashTalkingRadio.com. The best in the business. Say it, the macho king.
Wrestling fans throughout Radio Land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you hear guys like myself, the You Gandon Giant, come on. And that's my story.
Using mere words to describe the Trash Talking Radio show from 7 to whenever we get done is like using a screwdriver to cut roast beef. This is Lunella Sean, the other half of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. That's the trashy one and the loony one together forever.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ivan Koloff. I'm here to tell you about Mike Talking Trash. With the Trash 7 to 10. Tuesday nights, you got to listen in. It's the best around, the best in town. Alright, hey, this is the Animal. One half of the world famous take in the road warriors. What are you gonna do? If you know what's good for you, you'll listen to Trash Talking Radio or else.
Everybody, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Hulk Hogan. Hulk, what do you got to say about Trash Talking Radio?
Well, I got to say that I just bought Trash Talking Radio. You're out of the picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch because what you going to do when Hulk Hogan's brand new Trash Talking Radio runs wild on you?
This is the Vital Idol, and you're listening to Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10 on TrashTalkingRadio.com. And remember this. When the Vital Idol tells you, it's got to be true. And when it's on the internet, it's got to be real. It's Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10. I am the top of pop, the king of swing, the international rock star way above par, the host with the most, Mr. Tuesday Night, the Vital Idol, Classy Mike Trash, and thank you very much.
It is Trash Talking Radio. It is Tuesday night. It is the best night of the week. Popular opinion may not approve, but hey, we're here. We made it to Tuesday anyway. That's that's almost a half of the battle. So anyway, here we are. Here I am. Rock me like a hurricane and all that stuff. So tonight's show is going to be interesting. We got some stuff that's... I've got some stuff going on that's pretty good. So I'm just going to get right into the RIPs, and it's pay tribute to the ones that have passed. We have 2 of them. So we're going to start right away and get that out. And let's see here. Where do we want to start? I guess we'll start with the wrestler. So let's start with that. Let's see here. The first one. If you weren't a big fan,
high-risk maneuvers, earning him a reputation as a thrilling...
Started me right at the end, huh? All right, that was interesting. I hope this is right. Okay. That's interesting. So is that a 2-minute countdown for that? That's interesting. All right, so the first person we are going to talk about is Brett Sawyer. which I found his story kind of interesting. So, let's see. Oh. Okay. Didn't go to here. Why is it not? Should have started by now.
Although his time in the WWF was...
Okay, so this must be... Is this the starting point? Okay, not the starting point. Where's the starting point? Okay. Oh, here we go. It starts somewhere around here. All right, let's start it there. What the heck? Hey, is anybody there? By the way. All right, here we go. This is
Brett Sawyer, born August 10, 1960, died September 8, 2023. Brett Wayne Sawyer, a professional wrestler known for his time in the wrestling industry during the 1980s, was born on December 14, 1960, in St. Joseph, Missouri. His wrestling career was marked by his athleticism, high-flying moves, and his involvement in various wrestling promotions. Brett Sawyer came from a wrestling family, with his father, Bulldog Bob Brown, being a well-known wrestler in his own right. This familial connection laid the foundation for Brett's entry into the world of professional wrestling. He made his professional wrestling debut in the early 1980s and quickly gained recognition for his exciting and acrobatic in-ring style. He was known for his agility and ability to execute high-risk maneuvers, earning him a reputation as a thrilling performer. One of the significant highlights of Brett Sawyer's career came when he teamed up with Buzz Sawyer, who was not his biological brother but shared the same last name. Together, they formed the tag team known as the Sawyer Brothers, and competed in various wrestling promotions, including Mid-South Wrestling and World Class Championship Wrestling, WCCW. Their matches were known for their intensity and high-energy performances. Brett Sawyer also had a brief stint in World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, in the mid-1980s, where he continued to showcase his athletic abilities. Although his time in the WWF was relatively short, it contributed to his recognition among wrestling fans on a national scale. Throughout his wrestling career, Brett Wayne Sawyer faced various opponents and participated in numerous memorable matches. His talent and athleticism endeared him to wrestling fans, and he was respected by peers for his dedication to the craft. While Brett Wayne Sawyer's wrestling career was notable, it was unfortunately marred by personal struggles, including issues with substance abuse. These challenges affected his career and life outside of wrestling. Brett Sawyer's story serves as a reminder of the highs and lows that can come with a career in professional wrestling. His contributions to the industry, particularly his high-flying style and exciting performances, are remembered by wrestling enthusiasts. It is a sad time for wrestling to have lost Brett, and our thoughts go out to her friends and family.
So that was the first one. Uh-oh, what happened here? Oh, okay, just ended suddenly. That was Brett Sawyer. Now, it was interesting because I, of course, was a big fan of wrestling back then, and it was, I really liked that style of music, and I was really into the Mid-South and the WCW, the NWA days and all that stuff, and he was a pretty popular guy back then, and but he was never a big name. He was like mid-card at best. So that was a shame to see him die, and really a shame to see he had these struggles with alcohol, drugs, whatever. We are the others. All right, it's good to see you there. It's good to see Tina and Phil and Ann, and yeah, this is like I said, Brett Sawyer didn't. I guess he retired around '99, but I really lost track of him after he started work. Well, I lost track of him somewhere around the probably the late '80s, because once Buzz Sawyer died, a lot of the people that were linked to him didn't continue in the same area, so he was kind of short-lived in my book. But apparently he had much longer time in the ring than I knew. All right, the next one, and hopefully the last one for the day. I hope you guys like these videos because I spend a lot of time on them. This one here is kind of, it's going to hit us all a different way. I mean, he had two songs that we all should know, and that's about all that I can tell you about his two songs. This one was Gary Wright. Hopefully.
Gary Wright. Born on April 26, 1943. Died September 4, 2023. Gary Wright is a British-American singer, songwriter, and musician known for his contributions to the rock and pop music genres. Born on April 26, 1943, in Cresskill, New Jersey, Gary Wright's career in music has spanned several decades, marked by both solo success and collaborations with other prominent artists. Wright's early interest in music led him to pursue formal training in piano and organ. He honed his skills and gained experience playing in various bands during his formative years. His talent caught the attention of the British rock band Spooky Tooth, and he joined the group as a keyboardist and vocalist in the late 1960s. During his time with Spooky Tooth, Wright's contributions as a keyboardist and songwriter were notable. The band released several albums that showcased his musical abilities, including Spooky 2 in 1969, which received critical acclaim. In the early 1970s, Gary Wright decided to embark on a solo career, and this marked a significant turning point in his musical journey. His solo debut album, Extraction, 1970, showcased his songwriting and vocal prowess. However, it was his subsequent albums that catapulted him to international stardom. In 1975, Wright released the album The Dreamweaver, which included the title track Dreamweaver. The single became a massive hit, reaching number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and earning a place in the pop culture lexicon. The ethereal and melodic Dreamweaver showcased Wright's talent for crafting catchy, radio-friendly tunes. Another successful album followed in 1977, titled The Light of Smiles. This album featured the hit single Love is Alive, which also became a chart-topping hit. Wright's music during this period was characterized by a blend of rock, pop, and synthesizers, and it resonated with a wide audience. Throughout his career, Gary Wright continued to release albums and collaborate with other musicians, contributing keyboard work to various projects. His music evolved with the times, and he remained a respected figure in the industry. In addition to his music career, Gary Wright has been involved in philanthropic endeavors, including supporting causes related to health and wellness. Gary Wright's legacy in the music industry is defined by his ability to create memorable and melodic songs that have stood the test of time. His contributions to rock and pop music, particularly with iconic tracks like Dreamweaver and Love is Alive, continue to be celebrated by music enthusiasts worldwide. On September 4, 2023, he died at 80 after battle with Parkinson's and dementia for the last 6 years. Gary's songs spoke for a generation, and he will surely be missed.
All right, there you go. Gary Wright. And for those of you that don't know, it's like he did the song Dreamweaver. That was a pretty big song, and Love is Alive was a pretty big song. I can't play them on here because then I'll get strikes with, oh, you wouldn't believe what I went through last year, or last week. They really slammed me. Sony slammed me left and right over stuff on the show. I had so many strikes last week, and it was stupid. It was over stupid little things. The biggest thing was at the end of the show, we were showing clips of Las Vegas being flooded, and I was getting strikes for that, and I couldn't understand why. And I looked back at the clips trying to figure out where they were dinging me, and like every time I would stop a clip, I'd get a second strike when I started it up again, and I didn't know what was going on. Here, the music in the background of somebody that shot a clip, they shot a clip, and there was music in the background, and I was getting strikes for the music in the background. That just, I was so upset about that, because I have never had so many strikes as I had last week. And it was from Facebook, not from YouTube this time. I mean, I was getting hammered from Facebook. Hi, Marcia. I'm glad to see you here. So it was really ridiculous, the amount of strikes I was getting, and the stuff was not even good music. It was like, it sounded like some kind of weird, I don't know, some weird stuff in the background. But anyway, if you were to listen to that on Facebook from last week, you're not going to get to hear it, because they struck it and they deleted the sound for that whole area. If you'd like to listen to the show from last week and not get hit with, and not feel the strikes, go to YouTube. So just really sucks, because you know, it's like it's not universal around everything. One will strike me, one won't strike me, and so I guess that's how it goes. Anyway, that's all we got for the dead people. And let's see here. Let's see. I guess I can delete that one now. And if you want to see that, any of the clips, I guess I think I uploaded them. If you want to see any of the clips from last week, it's all on YouTube and hasn't been hammered the way that everything else has been from. Anyway, let's see here. What did I have this for? What was this for? Was this something? I probably played it last week. Oh, okay. I know what that is. Okay. All right. So, there we go. All right. Next thing we're going to do is, here's the picture of the day. Wait a minute. Let me find the picture of the day. Here it is. All right. So people that wondered if I wrestled, here's a clip of me, or here's a picture of me wrestling. And I actually won this match. It was a 6-man tag team, and I actually won this match. I ran across it because it was my picture of the day from September 12th, whatever date that was, way back in the old days when I was involved in wrestling, and it was fun. But that shows me in the ring. So, okay, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, Christine Harding says, well, I posted something, and then there was one. She said, "Do you need me to come out and fly out?" Yeah. Come on out. You got 3 hours to get out here. It sucks. Anyway, sometimes it bees that way. Sometimes, you know. Next thing, we're going to go right into, I don't think I had any movies to talk about, because I haven't been to a movie in a long time. What did I see this recently? Oh, I saw Oppenheimer. That was an interesting movie. Oh, I think I talked about that last week. It was interesting because I had no idea what it was about, and it actually turned out to be a 3-hour movie, much, much longer than I expected it to be. And it was really good. It was really interesting. It was about the Nazis, and they're trying to take over the world. And then it was about making a new bomb. So it's about the bomb that we used on the Japanese, and how it was developed, and how the government wanted this thing so that they could stop the war, and how they really pushed to get it done. And then after they did it, they went after the scientists that were in charge of it and tried to get them for creating the bomb. Anyway, so, all right, so that's that. Entertainment-wise, we got a lot of weird stuff. I guess I could play these clips I've got for you guys want to see some auditions I recently did. I did a whole bunch of them Sunday. Or was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday I did them. It was really good. It was really interesting because, by the way, that's me and Cactus Jack in the 80s. Or no, in the 90s. was kind of cool. Anyway, let me get these auditions. I'm assuming people wouldn't mind seeing them because I haven't played any in a couple weeks. Because I haven't had any in a couple weeks. I actually have been busy. Oh, and I also talked to a guy today or yesterday about scripts and stuff, and I'm going to be talking to them a little more. I'm going to play. I'm not sure what I'm going to play here. What do I got? Oh, okay. So I got these ones they wanted me to improv. So they didn't give me a script. They said, we want you to improv them. And the one is the world's most tired man. And basically I had to wake up and then fall back asleep and wake up and fall back to sleep. That was interesting. This one was, yeah, these are all, okay, so I'm going to play, let's see, I'm going to play Charlie first because that's the other part. Two parts I auditioned for the same show. This is Charlie, and they wanted me to improv a big piece of Charlie, so they also wanted me to tell a story. So that was the first time I had to tell a story in my thing. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Classy Mike Trash. I'm 6'2", Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm non-union, and I'm trying out for the part of Charlie. When I was a child, I wanted to be just like my big brother. He was this alpha male, and I thought that's how you were supposed to be. Totally not my thing. I'm a Sigma male, and the characteristics are totally different. But anyway, I decided to go get a motorcycle and be just like him. I decided when I was all alone, I was going to learn to ride this motorcycle. How hard could it be? I started it up, I put it in gear, and I ended up with the bike doing a wheelie without me, and I ended up on the ground. I'm glad no one was there to see me get knocked out to the ground.
Now the audition.
Need four wheels.
They wanted a story and then they want the audition.
Hey, Christine, come on over. What you doing? Want to go see a movie? Your choice. What? You want to see Barbie? Okay. Barbie it is. But everything is so pink. No. I meant your choice. Yeah. I'll get the tickets, and I'll give you your ticket, and I got to go to the bathroom, so I'll meet you in there. All right. That'll work. Thanks.
So that was the first one I did, and that was kind of funny. And this was the other one that I did was for the same production, and that was playing this old man that kept falling asleep, and you had to make it as funny as you could, and they wanted larger than life, so I made it larger than life. I didn't really know how they really wanted it, so I kind of like played it off, and we'll see. I sent it in. This would be the more fun role of the two. Hey, Christine, you're not here yet. Where are you? I thought you were going to fly out and do the show with me. All right. Anyway, this is an improv too.
Trash. I'm 6'2", Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm non-union, and I'm trying out for the part of Chimney. I remember opening my big mouth and inserting my foot back when I was about 16. I grew this full beard so I could get into the bars, even though I was only 16. And I didn't drink, but I always wanted to be a musician. So I would go to the open mic nights and listen to the bands. One time, the guys who were running the open mic wanted to humiliate me because they heard me say I was a singer, but I'd never get up and sing. They challenged me to sing a couple songs. And I couldn't back down because I was bragging that I was really good. So I had to put up or shut up. So as scared as I was, I put on my acting face, and I did a couple of songs in front of the whole house. Side note, I sounded really good. I sounded good enough that I actually found band members that night, and we started a band. two songs that I sang was Leonard Skinner's Give Me Three Steps and Jethro Tull's Locomotive Breath. Hey, who says dreams don't come true? I've been a musician for 40-some years now.
Poppy, you said you'd come outside and play with us. Poppy! Poppy! You gonna come outside and play with us?
I'll be right there. I'll be there in a minute.
Poppy, are you gonna come outside and play with us? Poppy! Poppy!
I'm wide awake. I'm just resting my eyes.
Come on, we're ready for
All right,
you.
I'm coming. All right.
Poppy, you said you'd come outside 5 minutes ago. Come on, Poppy.
I'm right there.
Where are you? Come on.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Poppy? Poppy, are you getting up to come outside and play with us?
I'll be right
Poppy?
there.
Poppy, are you getting up? We got everything ready. Poppy? 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 Poppy, you sound like a dinosaur. Poppy?
I didn't hear that. And cut. That was a fun one. It reminded me of my dad. That's why I'm laughing. 'Cause he used to say, like, I'm just resting my eyes and stuff like that. All right, this one here is just a public service announcement, or not a public, testimonial is what they would call it, I guess. So.
Hi, I'm Classy Mike Trash from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm reading for the chat and digital payment ad. Hello, my fellow investor. In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to share a harsh truth that you absolutely need to know as an investor. Now, everybody dreams of finding the next Microsoft or Amazon in the stock market, right? After all, Microsoft went IPO in 1986 and delivered astonishing returns. They're too large to print here for those who invested on the IPO day. However, those days may be long gone. The odds of that happening nowadays are arguably near zero. Listen, Microsoft went public with full-blown press coverage. Bill Gates was on the cover of major magazines.
And they ended it there. That was a weird way to end the thing. All right, the next one was A news anchor. This was funny. Actually, it was kind of weird to play it, the news anchor, because there was no other anchor there that was supposed to talk to me. So,
My trash, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm reading for the news anchor. Protests continued outside the Palace of Shahryar as witnesses confirmed yet another woman was taken into the palace against her will to be married to the Supreme Sultan of Iran. It is expected she will be executed tomorrow morning, like the 39 women who preceded her for the past 39 days.
that's a good reason
Such
to
tragedy.
marry somebody.
Today marks 60 days since all internet and TV access was shut down in Iran. And all cameras, TVs, smartphones, and even DVDs were confiscated by government agents and destroyed. What's that like, Tony?
And Tony didn't answer me. So that was interesting. I don't know if I even said Shahryar right. This one is the fun one. This is me playing a guy named Paz. And be interesting if I got that one. They gave me like 8 pages for this one.
Classing Like Trash, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm reading for the part of Paz.
He's an island guy.
Is that the rental host? Paz?
P-A-Z, Paz.
Paz. I just love that name.
How you finding the place?
It's great. It's so great, thank you. Sorry to be annoying, but we thought that there was supposed to be, food at the house and lunch prepared as part of the welcome package.
Right on, yeah. It's lunchtime. Told my friends to drop off some food, but island time. We move at the speed of nature here. We can eat now. A late lunch.
We already ate. We packed some bars. These bars are very healthy for women and anyone can eat them. Actually, they're not gendered. It's keto,
I don't.
It's a whole thing. Nuts, meats, fat, it all burns the fat. But actually very typical to the diet here I read.
I promise. The food is great here. Any plans tonight?
Well, we were just going to settle in.
Right on. If you need anything, I'm just down the beach.
Did we totally mess up your plans for the day?
We can do the secret island tomorrow. You've been trying to seduce me this whole time.
No. Yeah, yes.
We have a connection.
You know what would make this even better? Breakfast in bed.
We'll help.
No, you hang in there. Relax. I really like that. I feel so present, so in my body.
Good.
I've been working on being grounded and in touch with myself and my body in general. It's like my morning routine. I wake up, I do my morning pages. I write 3 things I'm grateful for.
He does say right on a lot.
3 intentions that I have for the day. And what I realize is that if I'm not staying grateful, I end up becoming really negative throughout my day. It's really sort of accelerates me into the correct headspace to be in my body.
Wait. So, you're doing all this work so you can be present?
Yes, all the time.
Right now?
Yeah, well, right now I'm in my head.
I want you to be present with me.
I don't know how to do that.
May I? What do you feel?
I feel your hands.
What do you see?
I see your eyes.
How do you feel?
Safe.
You'll find you surprise yourself when you quiet yourself.
I love surprises. Oh, breakfast is served. And see.
Albert Einstein's second wife, Elsa, was his first cousin. They were related through both maternal and paternal lineages. Their mothers were sisters and their fathers were first cousins.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine how hard it must have been to balance
Hi, Rubio.
mother-in-laws who were also sisters?
Oh my God.
On top of maintaining his relationship with Elsa.
They gave me a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, I usually feel like I need to talk to people. I don't feel like I need to be on with you.
So you like me?
Sorry, Trace is in my head. I just can't stop thinking about. As much as I thought I knew about us, I felt like I was standing on something that was solid. now I feel like I'm the only one that felt that way. It just makes me feel very unsettled.
So that was it. That was the ones that... Now, I do have a copy. I mentioned this one, I think last week. They gave me a copy of my thing that I did in Florida, and I'm going to play that too. Now, this is the one where I played... we were supposed to do a monologue for this one casting agent, and it was funny because I didn't know we were going to do this in front of somebody other than ourselves. And I was experimenting because the last one I did was a monologue about one of the songs that I did, which was Start Not the End. And that went pretty good. I thought that was cool. And I thought, let's do something else. Let's do something different. Let's go back and do a song. And I was thinking of doing Bohemian Rhapsody. I was going to do the Mama Just Killed a Man. And I was playing with that, and I thought, yeah, that would be cool to do. And then in the middle of the day, I thought, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a different one. I'm going to do Turn the Page by Bob Seger because, I mean, I've been a musician for so long, and that's one of the first songs that I ended up doing, and that was one I always liked doing, so I thought I'd do Turn the Page. So, yeah, I'm getting ready to do Turn the Page, and then they announce that this casting agent is going to be there, and I thought, oh, wow, I didn't expect that. And then I thought, well, maybe I should do a monologue, a regular monologue, because if I go out on the limb and do one of these and it doesn't work, I'm going to look really bad. So I was really, I wanted to be one of the last ones because I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I was one of the last ones. I think I was second to last. So I kept thinking, am I doing the right thing by doing this? Because I was going to change at the last second. I was going to go to, I think I had a monologue in my head that was breadcrumbs. And so I was going to do breadcrumbs because I figured that's a safe one to do. Then I thought, okay, all right, we're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. We're going to do the Turn the Page. And I did Turn the Page, and she actually liked it, and she gave me direction. She had me change how I was doing it, and she did that to everybody. She made everybody change from the original idea to whatever they ended up doing. So I ended up doing Turn the Page, and here is Turn the Page as a monologue.
On the long and lonesome highway east of Omaha, you can listen to the engine moaning out like one last song. You can think about the woman or the girl you knew the night before. Well, your thoughts are always wandering, the way they always do, when you're riding 16 hours and there's nothing left to do. And you don't feel much like riding. You just wish the trip was through. There I am, on the road again. There I am, up on the stage. Here I go, playing star again. There I go, turn the page.
So, I mean, that was an interesting one because when I originally did it, I put emotions into it, and I, tried to turn it into a play or whatever you want it to do. She said she just wanted to hear me say it straight out, so I did it straight out. But yeah, that's Turn the Page. It was kind of cool. Oh, now let's see here. Oh, I missed one. Oh, this is the last one. This was Bingo Loco. This was kind of weird because apparently they're auditioning people for a hosting thing for a live event. And I thought at first it was a game show, but I think it's a game show like for corporate events. So I don't know that I really want that, but I decided to do it anyway and see if that's going to be a good thing. So this was Bingo Loco.
Hi, I'm Classy Mike Trash, and I'm auditioning for the Bingo Loco host. Welcome to Bingo Loco. My name's Classy Mike Trash. Whether you've been to bingo before or you've been to a Bingo Loco before, We're about to take you on an epic journey into pop music past. Leave your inhibitions at the door. I want you to dance like no one is watching, lip sync, or sing like your reputation depends upon it. And whatever you do, have fun. Tonight, we're not just playing bingo, we're playing for some insane prizes. Someone here tonight will leave with a holiday for two to downtown Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Yes. One lucky player will also win a Bingo Loco Uncle Sam Band CD. That surprise is sorted. Now if you're ready, let's Bingo Loco.
So they told us to come up with our two prizes, and I thought the two most ridiculous prizes that you could come up with was Bingo Loco, a downtown Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and then the Uncle Sam Band CD. The two most ridiculous prizes. So that was it. But I thought that was kind of funny. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but hey, I just figure I got nothing to lose. So, all right, now we get into the fun stuff, the news. Actually, yeah, I'm going to play this one. Well, no, I'll wait to play this. All right, here we go. First thing. Wolfgang Van Halen feels like he's not a person to some people. And I'm not really sure why he thinks that, because I think he's a very talented person, actually. He plays all the instruments on his CDs and stuff, so that makes him very talented. His dad didn't even do that. So, it's kind of interesting. I guess a lot of times when you are the son of a famous guitar player, probably one of the most famous guitar players ever, you have that thing that you always got to be in his shadow. And I'm thinking that's really probably how he really feels, because he thinks that he doesn't get the recognition he needs or deserves. But I think he actually gets a lot of recognition. Actually, a lot of us have been playing a lot longer than him and aren't anywhere near where he is. I was playing before he was born, so I wouldn't mind being in the shadow of my dad if he was a guitar player. I would be happy just to be there, because it doesn't matter what you do when you have a famous father. You may have it easier, but I don't know. I think that you should accept that as that's the way it is. And if you weren't his son, you wouldn't be where you are, and you would have to climb the ranks like everybody else. So accept it for what it is. So I don't know. I just don't want to hear anybody complaining because they're famous. He's going to be famous a long time, and there we go. And it just, I don't know. Those people that say, oh, I don't think anybody's giving me any credence. You're getting credence. You got record labels that signed you, and you're a good musician, but you wouldn't be there if it weren't for your dad. All right, Bob Dylan's on the news again, and he's going back on tour. Actually going to continue his tour. Man, I think that it's crazy that he's still out there touring. I mean, but then again, Mick Jagger's out there touring too, so I guess I shouldn't feel that way, but I wonder which one do you think is older, Mick Jagger or Bob Dylan? And I wonder what happened to Bob Dylan's son, because we never hear from him anymore, and we did hear from him for a long time. Now we don't hear anything from him. So, all right, here we go. Let's see how old. Well, I wonder if it says in there. Let's see. Yeah, well, it doesn't say. Let's find out how old Bob Dylan is. All right, Bob Dylan's 82. All right, he's up there with Mick Jagger. I guess looks like he I think it's around, let's see, how old is Mick Jagger? Oh, yeah, he's 2 years older than Mick. Well, there you go. And Keith Richards is 79, and Steven Tyler's 75, Elton John 76. Whew. Wow. Okay, well, so there he's, I think Charlie Watts would have been 84. Charlie Watts was the old man of the Rolling Stones. Anyway, they added 17 dates with the promise that more would be coming. The newly announced dates included Springfield, Massachusetts, Port Chester, New York, and Waterbury, Connecticut. As it stands now, the tour begins October 1st in Kansas City, Missouri. And that's cool. That's amazing that he's still going out there on tour. He's a guy that, I mean, when he dies, it's, oh, there we go. I'm sorry, Marcia gave me that quicker than I got it myself. I didn't see that. Yeah, I'd probably be interested in seeing him sing because, I mean, he's a legend. And even though he's not my favorite singer in the world, he certainly influenced just about everybody in the music industry. So I think it'd be really cool to see that. So, yeah, tickets as low as $80. $80. I'm kind of curious how expensive they are. So the lowest is $80. Man, it's just crazy because when I was a kid, we got tickets for things for like $5 or $6, I think. And I thought that was expensive. Oh, man. Let's see. All right, let's look and see his first in Kansas City. Let's see what kind of money his tickets are besides $80. How many tickets? Let's get two. All right, so we got 86 is the lowest, and we got, or the best selling. And then we got, holy crap, $500, $455 in section 102, row 19. Oh, man, that's $500 to see him. Wonder if that's each. That's probably each, right? Yeah. Wow. I'm sorry, there's nobody I would pay that kind of money to see. There's nobody. That's $500 to see somebody. And section 303 around here is $400. Man. Oh man. Well, that shows that I'm a cheap guy. I was born poor. I don't think I'd pay that to see anybody. Anyway, all right. That's crazy. All right, next thing. This is a landmark day. It's the first day. Let's see here. Come on, let me delete. Doggone it. Monday marks the day, actually yesterday, marks the day, the end of the era for Vince McMahon. So what does that mean? Well, they sold WWE to Endeavor, which is the company that does UFC. And so he gave up his big share of the WWE. Now, he still owns a big piece.
I listened to your After the Bell interview recently, and you were talking about the Demon, and you said that it became something that you were trying to please people with. Did you have an original idea for what that gimmick was supposed to be?
I feel like that statement doesn't just apply to the Demon, that applies to Finn as well. I've been guilty of trying to please too many people all of the time and not please myself. And I've kind of abandoned that.
There we go. Just wondered what that was. Vince. Okay, so with Endeavor's merger of WWE and UFC to be finalized on Tuesday, Monday marks the end of an era for both WWE and Vince McMahon. Ever since he purchased the company from his father in 1982, McMahon's held the majority control over professional wrestling promotion. Even when he retired in the midst of various sexual misconduct scandals, he still held overwhelming majority of the voting power of WWE's board of directors. So I believe he sold it for like, at least, I think, a couple $1 billion. So Vince McMahon will still be in charge of WWE, executive chair of the new company, and 16% owner instead of 54 or 51%, I think it was. So it's interesting about it, and I believe it was a multi-billion-dollar company. And and the thing that was the important thing is that whoever ended up with WWE, to make it good, to make it work, they have to be able to have the NBC brand, and they're on USA Network, which is one of the NBC affiliates. So if they lost their affiliation with NBC, the company's basically worthless if they don't have television, because that develops a situation where they are guaranteed, like all their pay-per-views and everything are, like if you subscribe to Peacock, the pay-per-views are free. And that was, their competitor is AEW, who's getting $50 or $60 per pay-per-view. So the people that are hardcore wrestling fans are paying that. I won't pay that kind of money for a pay-per-view. I mean, I had a hard time coughing up $50 or $25 or $20 or $15 for a pay-per-view back in the in the 80s or 90s, and I'm certainly not going to pay $50 for a pay-per-view with a second-rate company, which AEW is definitely a second-rate company. So I just think it's interesting. They've got a great catalog of stuff too. So when they end up, when Endeavor ended up buying them, they have all the groundwork laid down for them already. They don't have to find television. They don't have to do all this stuff. They have to just pick up the pieces from where. Actually, they don't even have to pick up the pieces. Because Vince McMahon's still there. Vince McMahon's still going to run his company the way that he wants to run his company. So it's an interesting thing to see that they're going to continue being the juggernaut that they are, and they're going to just keep going along, and who knows where it's going to go from here. But the only way it can go bad is if they really screw up bad. I can't imagine that, but it could happen. But they've got a company that's pretty much turnkey because they got the right people in all the positions. So even when Vince McMahon passes away, they still have Triple H to run the booking or whatever they need him to do. So it's an interesting thing to see that this company is still going to survive for as long as they have, and they truly did take that business from the smoky bars and places like that to what it is now, a multi-billion-dollar company. So even Tony Khan's company is not anywhere near that. It's probably worth probably an eighth or a tenth of what WWE's is worth. And it's got the name value that keeps it worth that. And that's because they keep developing new talent. So we'll see what happens with it, but it's kind of interesting to see where they are right now, and they have a good thing going right now. Next situation, Michael Irvin returns to NFL Network and settles a $100 million lawsuit with Marriott after misconduct allegations. So apparently, see, I don't follow this stuff, but apparently there were some allegations that he was abusive, and I don't know. There was a woman apparently that was at the center of this, but hold on here. I'm going to give it to you from the article. Okay, former Dallas Cowboys star and Hall of Famer Michael Irvin has settled his defamation lawsuit against Marriott and officially returned to NFL Network on Sunday, just in time for the kickoff of the 2023 season. Irvin had filed a $100 million lawsuit against Marriott and 6 others for defamation and tortious, interference in a business relationship after a female employee accused him of making lewd and inappropriate comments in a hotel lobby in Arizona in February. He was pulled from the NFL Network's Super Bowl coverage in the wake of the incident and has not been seen since. Irvin and Marriott have since settled that lawsuit, and the terms of the settlement are not known. So I'm wondering how much money he got for this, because it's really bizarre, the situation that this was. Irvin was accused of misconduct by an employee of the Renaissance Phoenix downtown hotel ahead of the Super Bowl earlier this year. Specifics of the allegations weren't clear right away. In a legal motion, Marriott said that Irvin flagged down a hotel employee, appeared to be visibly intoxicated, and began aggressive behavior towards her after returning to the hotel from dinner that night. Video of the encounter with the employee was released in March. Though Marriott tried to prevent its release, Irvin can be seen shaking hands with the woman. He touched her arm twice. He then parted, the two parted ways after roughly a 2-minute encounter. Irvin has denied the allegations against him at every turn and said he was baffled by it all. He told Dallas Morning News that he had been drinking earlier that night at dinner and didn't remember the details of the conversation. This all happened in a 45-second conversation in the lobby. When I got back after going out, I came into the lobby. I talked to somebody. I talked to this girl. I don't know her. I talked to her for 45 seconds. We shook hands and I left. That's all. I don't recall the conversation, to tell the truth. We were out drinking. It was a friendly conversation. What's up? I don't know. I don't even know. I was totally perplexed. No criminal charges were ever filed over the incident. Irvin spent 12 seasons with the Cowboys from 1988 to 1999. He won 3 Super Bowls with the franchise and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2007. He's worked as an analyst with the NFL Network ever since 2009, I should say. So, somebody opened their mouth and accused him of something, and he didn't apparently do it, or he didn't at any point say that he did it, so he made some money on it. That's a way to do it. That's, that's not whining about saying he's not respected like some people do. I'm referring to Wolfgang, in case you're wondering. All right, now let's see. This will find, people that watch this show will find this amusing, I think. This is I found this I found this just today, actually. It was a video of a moose. These guys were taunting a moose, and they were told, don't taunt the moose. And they kept taunting the moose. So, we're going to see what happens when you taunt a moose. 2 idiot tourists suffer instant karma after taunting an ornery moose in Montana. One of the best things I've seen all year. You know, if you're dumb enough to taunt a moose, you get what you get. And, I mean, it's one thing if you taunt a small animal, but if you taunt a big animal, you get big results. So, I found it really funny that these guys, did what they did. But, sometimes you just don't know what people are going to do or what animals are going to do, and you don't want to mess with a moose. So, and I'm not talking about the moose that works for Ring of Honor. This is a much more volatile moose. So, all right. Enough of that. Here we go. All right, so here's pictures of it. You see the moose, and you see the moose and the man laying down there. It says approaching wild animals is not only obnoxious, but it's also dangerous. We can hope these two tourists plus morons, learned their lesson. So, I swear that people just don't have any common sense at all. You know, you don't mess with a big animal like that and expect to walk away from it. So, I just found that it really interesting. So there's a video clip right here, and see if we can play this.
Being fucking scared and trampling you. It's not my moose, but it's a goddamn wild animal. Get the fuck away from it, you idiots.
Let it be wild. Don't have to like.
Jesus fucking Christ! You guys must be the dumbest people I've ever met in my life.
Go ahead, touch it.
Go ahead, try. Go ahead, try. See what happens. See what the fuck happens.
See how long that leg will go.
Get the fuck away from the moose. Yeah, I am.
Me and Huffy might hit both of you guys. No problem. A little closer. Go on.
You guys are fucking idiots.
Get him.
Yeah, get him.
Yes.
Get him. Get him.
Some people are stupid. Oh, man. The bad thing is that the people are still alive. You know, I have a moose call. Did you know you can do a moose call? I was taught this by my cousin who is no longer with us. He told me that he was in a bar and he learned how to do a moose call. And so he taught me this moose call. So I'm going to do this moose call for you. Here we go. Here we go. You ready? Here, moose. Yeah, so not very funny, I guess, but you know, it was worth it. So, anyway, nobody expected that. All right, so we got that. Next thing, moose. Oh, here's a weird one. So Delta Airlines, which I have flown Delta in the past, found a dog that it lost in Atlanta 3 weeks ago. Ugh. First off, I'd be afraid to take my dog on a plane anyway, because you never know what could happen. The dog could be freezing in the air because it's, you know, whatever, because of the temperatures and all that stuff. And I don't know how they ship because they go in the, I guess they go in the luggage. Anyway, so the deal with this was that the person who owned this dog was trying to get in the country illegally. And it's a Chihuahua, I believe. And so what happened was she was turned around and she couldn't come into the country. So the dog made it through. So this is pretty scary, even if it does happen, have a happy-ish ending. The dog belonging to a Delta passenger has been found at the Atlanta airport after it went missing 3 weeks ago. It reportedly escaped from the kennel and was later discovered hiding near the North Cargo facility, according to the airline. She was tired and apparently good health, but she was transported to a vet and expected to return home soon. According to The Independent, the dog's name was M-A-I-A. I don't know, Maya, I think, went missing in mid-August after the Border Control denied the owner, Paula Rodriguez, entry into the country. She was forced to return to her home country, the Dominican Republic, but first she had to spend the night in an airport detention center that didn't allow her to keep Maya with her. The next day, the dog was missing, and Rodriguez was forced to fly home without her. So they found the dog, and the dog had apparently gotten out. Delta later told Rodriguez that, that Maya had broken out of the kennel. In a previous statement, the airline said Delta teams have been working to locate and reunite this pet with the customer, and we remain in touch with the customer to provide updates. Eventually she was found, but it took a couple weeks, 3 weeks to do so. Understandably, Rodriguez was happy to hear that Maya was alive and well, posting Maya's coming home. And, but, it's good she got her dog back, but, you got to be careful when you're trying to break into a country. You don't bring your dog if you're not gonna, if there's any chance that you may not make it. All right. This was a really weird one. Okay. Some guys are really desperate about finding women. I was at one time, a long time ago. Well, maybe it wasn't that long ago. But anyway. Asian man is drugged and robbed in Colombia by a woman he met on a dating app. Yep, be careful. Dating apps are another way that people can rip you off. And they could take your life if you're not careful. In this case, it turned out to be okay. And in some senses, you might even call it a happy ending. What is that noise now? I'm hearing a weird noise. Okay. Wish I knew what that noise was. That's kind of weird. All right. Anyway. All right, here's the story. The man whose name is withheld made plans to meet the woman at a restaurant in the southwest city of California. California? I think it was. Is it California? It says Cali. I'm assuming that's California, according to the Daily Mail. However, the woman suggested visiting his residence instead, claiming that she did not want to leave her female cousin alone at home. The Asian man living in Colombia agreed to host. Okay, so Cali must be down in Colombia. To host the two women at his home, where they suggested he order food. The man recalled using his debit card to pay for the food delivery before blacking out. He was reportedly found unconscious in his apartment by a friend after he failed to answer any of her calls. The victim was taken to a local clinic where he was placed under observation for 3 days until he woke up. In surveillance footage, the women are reportedly seen walking out of the apartment with a bag and a box. Using the victim's debit card, the suspects went on a shopping spree, charging $3,890 to his card. They reportedly spent at least $1,490 to purchase a ring at a jewelry store. So the victim is calling on Cali authorities to track down the women to recover his money. It's not fair. The bank must have precautionary a plan, and as a jewelry store, it should have seen wrong. How strange. A ring worth 6 million pesos. How can they sell it without revealing their identification? So, so in any case, the guy was out a little bit of money. So, I guess, like I said, it was like, what did I say? almost $4,000. So, yeah, some people Hey, Chaz, how you doing? LA was great. I'm going back in January. I just got back from Miami, and I just got back from Orlando for some photo shoots. And I'm going to New York in November. So it's been busy, but, you know, I'm still out looking around and seeing what's going on. And I'm still waiting for you to give me a call back. I want to work for you. I know you got something in the works. So, yeah, I'm doing I've been in 3 movies this year already. I was in a movie, well, last year I was in a movie called Winder, and that's hitting the circuits now. Then in January, I was in 30 for 30 with the rapper Fame is doing a movie, 30 for 30, and I was in that. And then in March, I was in an animated film that is called Let's Call a Taxi. And then just recently, just in July, I was in a movie called The Youngest Partisan, which is an adaptation of a book. And it was about Nazi Germany. And so I was definitely in a pretty interesting scenario. They filmed that in Reading. It was a good movie. So yeah, I'm looking for more stuff, and I'm supposed to be in a movie in Philadelphia in the next couple of weeks. That I'm supposed to be riding a train, and somebody comes on and accuses me of sleeping with their girlfriend or wife or something like that. So it's kind of fun. We're keeping ourselves busy and trying to find new opportunities everywhere, and it'll be cool to actually be able to make a name for myself, and my IMDb is getting a lot of things. Also, I wrote a TV show other than the one I wrote a couple of years ago. I started writing a new one, a comedy that is going to be interesting. It's Three's a Crowd, Four's a Comedy, and it's going to be pretty interesting. I'd like to talk to you about it someday, and we'll see if you like the idea. But anyway, I hope that you guys got the filming done on whatever, I forget what it was that you were working on a couple of years ago. It was COVID, so there weren't a lot of people doing a lot of things, but I do remember that one, and I was also in a pilot back 2021, I think it came out, and it was called Agency, so that was shot in Philadelphia. So yeah, I want to talk to you because I think there's a lot of things that we could do together. All right, next thing. So we did this. So if you want to get drugged, move down to Cali. If you want to lose your dog, from the Dominican Republic. And all right. Let's see, which one do I want to do next? Here's a really bizarre one. Shocking video shows neo-Nazis marching outside of Disney World, chanting, "We are everywhere." Ooh, that's a crazy thing. I mean, when you think about it, back when the Nazis were taking over the world, Mickey Mouse and all those guys were anti-Nazi, and it's really strange to see them outside Disney when they were one of the people that were making cartoons about not having Nazis around. So I found that somewhat entertaining. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Now. So it says neo-Nazis groups rattled across Orlando, Florida over the weekend, spouting anti-Semitic and racist speech while destroying LGBTQ pride flags in front of the entrance of Disney World. Shocking videos on social media show the neo-Nazi groups marching in North Orlando Saturday, waving swastikas and shouting "Heil Hitler" and "We are everywhere." Florida Rep. Anna V. Eskamani, that's what it is, Eskamani, uploaded one video of the group marching and warning that it was not yet another example of right extremism growing in Florida. It was yet another example. So that's really, I didn't watch this video, and I don't know if I want to watch it, but I guess we'll watch it, because I don't know. It's really weird that these things even happen.
Since the city
Oh, here we go. We got commercials. Why are you going to have commercials? We don't need commercials. We don't need no stinking commercials. But yeah, it just is really strange to think that these people are out there and still around. All right, here we go. Now I don't hear any sound. Why don't I hear any sound? Should be sound. Maybe I don't want sound though. Oh, here we go. They moved it. All right, there it is. Okay, here's what we got. That's crazy. It's hard to think of people like that even out there today. And notice this: these Nazis who are so proud of themselves that they're wearing masks. You guys are cowards. If you really want to, be Nazis didn't wear masks. They did what they did, and they weren't afraid of being who they are. I think I would be afraid of who you were if you wanted to show it. So I don't know. Just crazy things. I just don't understand. Oh, still more of them. Okay.
Won't replace us! Who won't replace us? Jews won't replace us! Who won't replace us? Jews won't replace us!
Jeez.
Blood! 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 We are everywhere! We are everywhere!
Jeez. What is with these people? They're preaching hate, so much hate. I can't stand hate. Oh, that sounds weird. But, yeah, it's really weird that they would be out there and at Disney of all places. Jeez. I just don't get it. I try to do things for love, not hate. All right, here is... Oh, HOAs are such a pain in the butt. This here HOA is the most ridiculous HOA ever. So they want to evict these people from their house, not because they were playing loud music, not because they were had loud kids or troublesome kids, not at all. The reason that they want to get rid of them is a very simple one. They're tortoise. Because they have a pet tortoise. I don't understand. And I couldn't live with an HOA because they had so many ridiculous rules. But this one here is probably one of the most ridiculous. This June, a teen named Jaden Cannon in Hoover, Alabama, received a notice from the Ross Bridge Homeowners Association that he would have to give up his beloved pet tortoise, Fred, because it wasn't on the list of approved pets. I can't even imagine, like, what are these people, a pet tortoise? That doesn't even, like, tear anything up. I don't understand why they have a problem with this pet tortoise. One Redditor shared the news on Birmingham alongside the headline, Ross Bridge HOA serves eviction notice to pet tortoise. This is why everyone hates HOAs. And that could be thanks to an Instagram page, Save Fred the Tortoise, which is raising funds to fight the HOA's decision. As of July, it had $1,200 in donations and pre-sales of the Save Fred t-shirts. This is crazy. According to Cannon and his family, the tortoise isn't loud, dangerous, messy, or any kind of nuisance to the neighborhood. He's even useful because he eats grass in their backyard, a zero effort, zero pollution plan for lawn maintenance. I haven't had to cut the grass in 3 years. I need to get one of them. Then I wouldn't have to cut the grass. According to the news report, Cannon has had Fred since Christmas of 2015. While the Sulcata tortoise isn't on the HOA's approved pet list, Cannon believes he should be grandfathered in since he was created after he got Fred. Since the list was created after he got Fred. He also pointed out that there are many other unapproved pets in the neighborhood, like ferrets and snakes. In this case, where a community disagrees with the HOA's rules, it is often possible to change the rules using the association's own internal procedures. The family could appeal for the exception, which would be up to the HOA to grant. Reddit commenters hated seeing the Rossbridge HOA was doing to Fred. I mean, Fred, he don't do any. He's not doing anything wrong. Fred is just a freaking turtle. You know, that is like the most crazy reason to make them leave the HOA. I would never, ever, 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 ever get into an HOA. Never. Just because of the things that I had heard about and other people that had to deal with them and stuff like that. It's just stupid. I mean, there's got to be something better to do than you know. I just don't understand. I don't understand why people think they have a right to tell other people how to live when it doesn't affect them. There's not anything that, it's not like it's a killer turtle. I mean, it could be a killer rabbit. So luckily this time the media attention seems to have paid off. The family later received word that the HOA reversed this decision, and the Cannons will use the money they raised for a party where the community members can meet Fred. Yeah, but then they'll probably kick you out because your party's too crazy because they're inviting a turtle. Oh boy. People are just so weird. Okay, so that's done. Walmart and Sam's Club introduce a game-changing feature at hundreds of stores across the country. This is actually a pretty cool thing. I don't know if it's game-changing, but it is actually pretty cool what they're doing. And I totally think it will help them in some ways because people like me are more apt to use their services because of this one thing. And there are other places that are doing this already. So they didn't exactly, unearth the Holy Grail or anything. But what they're going to do is they're going to put in EV charging stations at thousands of Walmarts and Sam's Clubs across the country. So that's kind of cool because I really think that it's neat that some of the giant food stores have charging stations. Some of the where are the other places I've seen charging stations? It's just cool that they're popping up in different places. And the thing is, Tesla announced this past week that they just opened their 50,000th charging station in the United States. I think in the United States, or else it was worldwide. I don't remember which it was, but still, that's still quite a bit ahead of everybody else with EV charging stations. A lot of the guys are playing catch up, and they still are way behind what's out there now. I mean, because they're so far behind the technology, and that's why they have talked about making the Tesla connector the standard in charging stations because they have so many chargers and the fastest charging out there. So I don't know if these guys are going to do it or not, but it says here, as EVs become increasingly popular, Walmart's announced plans to build EV stations at thousands of Walmarts and Sam's Clubs across the country by 2030. So that gives them 7 years to put them out. With a club or store within 10 miles of approximately 90% of the Americans, we're uniquely positioned to deliver a convenient charging option that will help EV ownership. And, it's funny, when I went to Sam's Club, I was looking, they give you discounts at different types of vehicles, but when I went looking for my first Tesla was not any of the cars that they were willing to get discounts on. Now, maybe they will, but they'll probably more than likely back like Ford and Chevy, because they have agreements with them already. But anyway, by installing charging stations across the country, Walmart makes owning an EV easier for drivers that worry they won't be able to find a place to charge their vehicle. Easy access to on-the-go charging is a game changer for drivers who have been hesitant to purchase EV. It'd be kind of cool, though, because that means that when I'm taking these long trips, I will find other places to charge other than Tesla-type charging station. Now, I prefer Tesla because it's fast charging, but it says, actually, I want to see what it says here. It says, EV charging for on-the-go charging is a game changer for drivers who've been hesitant. Actually, the other day, when I was coming back when I was going down to Miami, I think it was when I was coming back. When I was going, there was a Walmart on the way that I had to charge at the charging stations that were in that mall, and they already had charging stations there. So it'd be interesting because if they turn out to be Tesla charging stations, that would be a really big game changer because they have so many stores, so many Walmarts, that it could actually be easier to charge at a Walmart rather than just a mall, because like in DC, they have, if you can picture this, most charging stations, they're in like eights, in numbers of eights, because they take 4 stations and they split the 4 stations in half. So you get the best charge if you're the only one at the 2 stations that share. So if you're at 4, if there's 8, there's 4 transformers divided by 2. Now, if nobody's at the 1, like there's 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B. So if you're at 1A and there's nobody at 1B, you're going to get a faster charge rate. The reason I'm bringing that up is that for people that don't have an EV, you charge considerably faster if you're on your own A or B, if you're the only one there. Now, when you look at bigger places like DC has one in a mall just outside of DC, or in DC, but it's just outside of the city. There are 20 stations there. So it was interesting because they were all filled when I went there about 3 or 4 years ago. And so it's kind of crazy when you think about there's so many stations. You think, oh, well, they're never going to have 20 people there. They do. They have 20 people there. It's crazy. They actually fill them up. And so as it goes, as more people are becoming aware of the EVs, and not only EVs, but the PHEVs, which are the plug-in hybrids. So if you have a gas car with that's a hybrid, but has a plug-in hybrid, like for instance, I looked at buying Tesla. When I was looking at buying my Tesla, I thought about buying one of these plug-in hybrids. At the time, I was looking at the Prius, or as they say in England, Prius. what you can do is you get a battery for. There's a battery for the plug-in hybrids that you charge your battery up, and you can get anywhere from 20 miles to 100 miles before you use any gas. And now, what is interesting about that is that the majority of people drive between 20 and 40 miles a day. So if you have one of those hybrids, you basically can run with no gas for your daily driving. And you only need to have it for the gas if you're going beyond that time. It was interesting because when I was working, at that point I was looking at the plug-in hybrid, because I only worked 10 miles from work. And they also had an EV plug-in there at work. So that means that if I were to go to work and back, I wouldn't have to pay for any electric. So, or wouldn't have to pay for because they gave us free electric there. So that's kind of cool because you get free traveling for that short period of time. So it says not only are EVs better for the environment, but they're also better for your wallet. EV owners spend 60% less money each year on fuel than the comparable gasoline vehicles. And to give you an idea, if I'm generous, let's talk about going to Miami. I went not the most direct route, and it took me 5 charges to get to Miami. And the average probably was, let's be generous. Let's say I had to charge from completely empty to completely full. That would be about $15. All right. But let's use 20 because it's easier to add. So to get down to Florida, it cost me about $100. That's not bad. And to get back, $100. Now, it was a lot less than that because I wasn't completely empty at any time, and I wasn't completely full most of the time, because you don't fill your car up to 100% with an electric car. And the reason is, if you have an electric car, it probably has more often than not, it has regenerative braking. And regenerative braking is interesting because regenerative braking allows you to, every time you hit the brake, it regenerates the brake into power. So if you're going downhill, like I remember when I first got my car, the first car that I got, not the one I have now, I took it down to the middle of nowhere in Virginia, where there were not many charging stations. And back in 2018, there weren't as many charging stations. And I remember that I went there and it said that I would have about, I don't know, like 50 miles till I was done, till my car couldn't go anymore. And the charging station was was like 30 miles away. I thought that would be easy. Well, the thing I didn't know, I was going up a mountain, and that uses more energy. So my 60 miles became 50 miles, 50 miles, and I was down to 10 miles before I was going to run out of a charge. Well, when I got to the top of the mountain, I was at 10 miles to go. And so I was looking up and I was saying, please don't let me run out of electric, because I'm in the middle of nowhere and nobody would find me until I was dead. But anyway, going down the mountain, I just didn't accelerate at all, and I left it regain the power, the electric power. And so at the end of the end of the mountain, I think I came back. I think I had like 2 miles left because it regenerated enough electric that I actually got to the electric pump, if you want to call it that. And I made it back just fine. But it was scary because I was like thinking maybe this isn't as good as I thought it would be, but it is. It's still, you know, it's now with my new car, it's a lot better because I get much more mileage on the same charge. And all they did was just change the batteries that are in there. And so my 100 kilowatts becomes 100 kilowatts with like a boost because I get more mileage on the same battery. Just really cool. And the new ones are supposed to, once they come out with these new batteries, they're supposed to be 600 miles to the charge, which that would be really good. I'd love to have 600 miles to charge. And the new car that I'm going to get when it comes out, when it's actually released, is an Aptera. I'm going to get 1,000 miles to the charge, which is, whew, that's crazy. That means I would get from Pennsylvania to Orlando on one charge. That's if it was a perfect drive. It might be 2 charges. And the battery that's in that new car is smaller than the battery that's in my Tesla. But it's just aerodynamic. It's better with the aerodynamics. So back on the article here with the electric stations, I'm pro them doing that. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome, especially because, you know, Walmarts are all over the place, and Sam's Clubs are a lot of places. And if I can get a car, or if I can get a access to a pump, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Sam's Club or wherever I got to go to make it work. And if they're going to have that many pumps out there, that's a big thing. And even if they give you even if they don't give you a better deal on electric, it's still going to be a winner because people are always looking for the pumps, and eventually it's going to become they're going to start being competitive on everybody charging, you know, instead of like Tesla gives me a better price than they might give someone with a Ford. Even though the Ford's going to be charging at the same location, they get charged a couple more than I do because I get basically Tesla's cost, you know, maybe not cost, but close to it. So it's one of those things that would be advantageous if you had a Tesla. So we'll see what happens with that. So, all right. Next. This is a really strange one, and you know, we talk about the cops getting a bad rap sometimes, and sometimes they deserve to get the bad rap because they do things that are unethical or downright lying, or over the top. And this is one of those situations when it was kind of over the top. Says Colorado deputies who tased a man, and right now, you know, it's going to be interesting, multiple times, are fired. How many times do you got to tase a man? You know, it's sometimes it's not the Wild Wild West anymore. They're watching you. They're watching you wherever you are, and if you do something that is extreme, there is retribution. There is going to be consequences to what you're doing, and it seems like that these things are showing up now. Says 2 Colorado sheriff deputies were fired after an investigation found the repeated use of tasers against a man, including his lower lip, was unjustified. Deputy Michael, I guess it's Michael or Michael, Noel, and Lieutenant Henry Trujillo violated a number of agency policies, including inappropriately using a taser against Kenneth Espinizo while he was handcuffed and inaccurately reporting what happened. Investigators are referring the matter to a criminal probe, alleging that Noel's and Trujillo's actions during the traffic stop escalated the use of physical force, bodily injury, and false arrest. It's unknown if a criminal investigation has been launched. The existence of excessive and unlawful force was so apparent here that there's really one conclusion. This is the most outrageous thing I've ever seen. The sheriff's office said Noel and Trujillo Trujillo could not immediately be found. A message seeking comment was left Monday for their attorney. The events investigated began when Espinizo's son was pulled over November 29th, 2022 for a traffic stop while his father was driving behind him. When Espinizo pulled off the road to support his son, Trujillo and Noel ordered him to leave. After initially refusing, Espinizo was starting to drive away when the deputies ordered him to stay. Noel said Espinizo tried to strike him with his truck, then pointed his gun at Espinizo. According to the report, Espinizo was handcuffed, told he was under arrest, taken to the patrol car and stunned with a taser. Noel and Trujillo said Noel was uncooperative. Why Noel twice? Noel and Trujillo said Noel was uncooperative. I don't think that's right. I think Espinizo was uncooperative. Resisting and attempting to harm the employees or the deputies by kicking them. An investigation found Espinizo did not attempt to strike Noel with his truck, and at no time does Mr. Espinizo actively use any force against Lieutenant Trujillo and Detective Noel. So, yeah, you got to be careful. You got those cameras taking footage, so anything that you do can and will be used against you in a court of law. So as far as that goes, they weren't too smart about that. They kind of probably shouldn't have been lying about things. So, yeah, kind of funny. But I don't know. It's just, and Danny Graham said that one thing about, actually I'm going to talk about it later on. I'll talk about that then. It says here, but anyway, so everything's on video now. One camera is somewhere. There's somewhere you're going to get caught doing something wrong eventually because the cameras are everywhere. So if you're stupid enough to break the law or stupid enough to think you're not going to get caught, yeah, you're pretty stupid because that just isn't going to happen. So, all right. So there's a thing going around with carjacking. So Tennessee man captures a serial carjacker. You know, I didn't even think that was still even an issue anymore these days. I figured that, there are not probably carjackers out there. There are carjackers out there. They're still out there doing it. And some of those kids are kids. They're like 18 or less. And in fact, this one here that carjacked this guy or tried to carjack this guy was just a young kid. And he got caught. So here's the story. A man in Memphis, Tennessee fought back after an 18-year-old carjacker tried to take his Dodge Charger at a gas station. Unfortunately, gas stations are common hunting grounds for carjackers. Reader, be aware of this danger. But in this case, the intended victim was not only able to get his fight back, but trap the would-be carjacker until the police arrived. I just didn't even think that was a thing anymore. But I guess I'm wrong because I guess I'm in a safe area where carjacking doesn't really happen that much. As detailed in the report, the 18-year-old approached the man at the gas station September 3rd, produced a gun and demanded the Dodge Charger that the guy had. Instead of just giving up, the victim fought back as the carjacker started to climb into the Mopar. The two struggled for control of the gun, which dislodged a round into the Charger's interior. Considering the reputation of Dodges lately, that might actually increase its aftermarket value. So while they were fighting, the gun actually was real and actually had live ammunition in it, and it went in and it went off in the car. Somebody could have been killed right there, then and there. Eventually, the victim was able to overpower the 18-year-old, pinning him to the ground until police showed up in the scene. What's truly amazing was after he was arrested, we're assuming Mirandized, The carjacker told the police he carjacked a woman back in August. Ugh. In that previous incident, the woman lost her Nissan Rogue and she was grabbed as she was about to get into the vehicle. The gun was pressed against her head, and the 18-year-old suspect told the police her phone was, he grabbed her phone so she couldn't call for help. And why he ratted on himself is a mystery, but we're willing to bet that he's carjacked plenty of other people before. So carjackings have been incredibly common in certain areas, including Memphis. If you don't believe us, peruse the police department and social media account. We're there, and quite a few other cities, and you'll see carjackings have been on the rise. So this guy here didn't make out too well. So, and then he gave up himself for something else. I probably would have just don't answer, don't repeat anything. I would not admit to any carjackings, because the more that you admit to, the more you will get in trouble for. So I guess that guy didn't think of that. Just funny. Let's see. Oh, this next one's really kind of bizarre. Orangutans. Oh, man. Orangutan launches a possum out of his enclosure at the zoo. They don't waste any time in being an orangutan. I mean, they say, hey, what are you doing in my house? And they end up tossing the possum out of the house, and that would be kind of weird to see, and it's really strange to think about. Like I said, cameras are everywhere. People are going to use those cameras to tell people. Did I just do this? I'm not even sure I know what I'm doing. Oh, man. And now we'll see if I posted it or not. Okay, looks like I didn't. I thought I did. All right. Anyway, so the orangutan's throwing the possum out. And here's the video of it. It's weird to think about that. All right, what's going on? Is this not a video? It is a video, right? Yeah, it's a video. Let's see if we gotta kill the sound first.
This digital.
Oh, yeah, it's a commercial first. Now I gotta find my freaking headphones again, because I don't know where they're at. Anyway, I'm gonna put this up here. I'll add one of two bastards. Wasted my time. Oh, here we go. Got my headphones this time. So, really kind of weird though. All right, now we're getting close to the end here. All right, here we go. One orangutan throwing a possum. Let's see if we got anything. Hey, where's the sound? Oh, there it is. Okay, so over here, this is the possum. It's not a unidentified flying possum. It's a possum. Unidentified flying object. Ooh. Freaking crazy things. It says shocking footage going viral on Reddit shows an orangutan at a zoo in Perth, Australia, launching a stray possum into the air. Why would the possum go way up there? I would think that a possum wouldn't like being up in the air that much, but I guess it did. I think of possums as a land creature, and I guess they probably do climb things, but I would have never guessed that. That's just crazy. Thinking about. I wonder if it says here. Oh, I would presume it did survive the fall. Obviously, the loss of any living creature saddens us, but also nature playing out. Yeah, I wonder if it did survive. That's looked like it fell pretty far. Doesn't say that. I'll probably get in trouble from the boom, 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 boom. But that's crazy. Jeez. That's just crazy. But, hey, you know, they do what they do. Okay, I gotta let this go now. Come on, where's it at? Okay. Stop. 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 There we go. How do I make it smaller again? There we go. Anyway, it says an orangutan at the Australian Zoo horrified visitors when it brutally evicted a possum by launching it from the top of its enclosure. As to why the wily pest had invaded its space. A viral video shows the creature hurting through... Hurting? Oh, is that hurtling? Oh, it does say hurtling, but it's spelled wrong. It says hurting through the air and vanishing from view. Several people can be heard saying, oh my God, and the primate then emerges from the enclosure as to check where the airborne possum has landed. When asked about what happened, I would presume it did not survive the fall. Obviously, it says it did not survive the fall. The person who shared the possum throwing recording on Reddit has opened up about what it proceeded to toss, saying that first the orangutan was throwing the possum around on the ground. Oh, wow, so he did not climb up there on his own. I see, that changes everything. So, wow, that it actually climbed the thing, and so it was just kind of weird. That's really crazy that the orangutan climbed there with the possum. That's amazing. But it's not amazing if you're a possum. All right, next. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, this is cool. So a cowboy was being attacked by a vicious jaguar. And I don't mean the car, I'm talking about the animal. So, you know, if you get attacked by a wild cat like that, you're probably not going to survive. But he survived because he got lucky enough. You want to talk about a lucky situation? He was lucky. He survived because the jaguar had killed I think he killed his friend, or another person that was in the group. Come on, really quick. Come on, quick. I got people waiting. Anyway, so it says here, a Brazilian farm worker was left with a mangled leg after a jaguar blew up his phone. The 40-year-old cowhand was attacked by the big cat last week after he investigated the source of the disturbance among his herding dogs on the ranch. And this was in Brazil, so. The man's companion attempted to fend off the jaguar with a knife, but to no avail, leaving the animal to tear his friend apart. But on the 29th of August, assault ended abruptly when the animal chomped into the cowboy's cell phone in one of his pockets. And that just prompted the device to explode. The jaguar was believed to be alive after getting spooked by the explosion and running back into the wild. But his friend did not make it. So, yeah, that's crazy. I wouldn't want to have to deal with that. But that's what it's like in Brazil. Lots of animals. It's weird to think that the jaguar would have attacked. It would have, you know, a lot of times animals won't attack unless you are a threat to them. But I guess it was a situation where it was aggressive, and maybe they were, you know, coming into their territory or whatever. All right, next one. Oh, this is sad. All right, this Ohio cops released body cam footage of an officer shooting dead this pregnant driver after she refused to leave her car. It's got to be a better way than shooting someone to get them out of the car. And I would imagine there's going to be consequences of this, because it's just not a good idea. Come on. All right. So it's Ohio. Ohio cops released body cam footage Friday showing an officer fatally shooting a pregnant mom of 2 when the suspected shoplifter refused to leave the car and accelerated towards him. Okay, well, if you're driving towards me with a car, I'm probably going to be more apt to shoot you than if you were just, driving away. The video shows just before, I don't know how to pronounce her name, I'm going to say Takenya Young, of 21 of Columbus, was shot in her black sedan outside of Kroger in London Township on August 24th. Officers repeatedly barked for her to get out of the car. When Young asked why she was being told to exit the car, which was a handicapped spot, she was told, "You stole stuff, do not leave." The mom of 2 sons, 3 and 6, replied, "I didn't do it." The other girls were taking stuff. One of the cops who's standing at the driver's side says, "Get out," before he slams his fist against the window. The second officer, who's standing at the hood of the car with his hand leaning on the hood, shouts, "Get out of the effing car." As she accelerates towards him, he shoots a single shot through her windshield. Screaming can be heard, and the car moves through the parking lot slowly, swerving around to support the column on the building before crashing into the grocery store's brick front. So, well, I got to say that if you're going to aim towards a car or towards a cop, you're going to get shot. The cops chase after her, screaming, "Stop the car," as they point the gun towards the driver's window. The second officer attempts to open her locked door, but is unable to, using his elbow to smash partially open the window. She slumped over the console. Officers then rendered medical aid to Young, which was not shown in the video, later pronounced dead, and her unborn child died as well. Her child was expected to be born in November. All right, well, I can't have much sympathy for her because A, she was stealing stuff from a store. B, she refused to get out of the car. C, she was running towards a cop. I don't know. She was so excited to have this little girl, Nadine Young, her grandmother said at a news conference. She has 2 little boys. She was so fired up about this little girl, she's going to be missed. Young's family viewed the footage before it was released, saying in a statement through her lawyer, "Having viewed the footage in its entirety, it's undeniable that her death was not only avoidable, but it was a gross..." See, now, I don't see how that's avoidable. If she's going to... I would have shot her too if she was coming at me, That's a tough one. I can't side with her, because if she did truly go after go towards the cop, she got what she deserved. So, all right, Los Angeles jewelry store employees beat a would-be thief. So this is an interesting story. People need to stop trying to steal stuff. That's all. They could save themselves. All they got to do is stop stealing things. So, yeah, this one is near and dear to your heart, Anne. But these guys, I wouldn't have the guts to do what they did. But then again, I'm kind of a wimp. Here's a video of it too, by the way. It's on YouTube. It took 24-karat chops to dissuade this jewel thief. Employees of a Los Angeles County jewelry store pounced on the robber with such ferocity Saturday that the would-be crook sprinted away in terror. What a way to go. It's got to be embarrassing if you're a criminal and you're getting beaten away by the employees. How tough are you? The attempted broad day robbery happened around 2:12 p.m. at Mesa's Jewelry in El Monte. Me, my uncle, and my dad were tugging him out. An employee who didn't want to be identified told the outlet. In the footage, the workers can be seen punching, kicking, and even using a stick to beat the robber before ripping his shirt off as he slips back out the door and tears down the street with his pants falling down. That's worth the price of admission right there. I tried to defend my family because you could see he was hitting my dad and my uncle. And so there's a picture of the guy who had his shirt ripped off, and it looks like his pants are falling down. Oh, man. And I guess I don't know what happened there. The attempted robbery took place. It doesn't say it. Two people from inside the store tried to follow the man down the street before he disappeared. But the thing is, they got video footage. They could figure out who this guy is. So he better get out of town. The starting incident began when the individual entered the store with armed with a hammer and smashed a display case. Well, I guess that's what the issue was. That display case is pretty expensive to begin with. The man also used pepper spray on workers who run the business. And, look, he's fighting shirtlessly in the streets, too. And several employees were treated for minor injuries. As of Sunday afternoon, the suspect, who has not been named publicly, remains at large. So I would say that this is not a good thing for him, because he definitely stands out. And the pictures definitely, they'll figure out who he is. So, oh man, these people, why? Just get a job and stay out of trouble, I don't know if I did this already. I may have already done this. Let's see if we did. No, I didn't. Oh, it's good I checked there. Do it there too, so let me make sure. All right, the next one says, oh, yeah, okay, I remember. I was trying to remember what the article was about. Here's another. Oh wait, that's the one I just did. Stop that one. All right, the next one. Okay. Gunman who killed TCU student claims he would have killed more people. That's just crazy. If he hadn't had an ammunition issue. The thing is, in my head, I've never been able to reconcile why somebody would have to kill somebody. I mean, if someone comes after me and I feel feared for my life, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to make sure that they go first. But other than that, I can't think of a reason why I'd want to kill somebody. And even in that situation, I wouldn't want to kill them, but I would have to kill them. So, because I wouldn't want to die because some person felt that they wanted to kill me. A college student was randomly gunned down outside a bar in Texas by a shooter who had allegedly told police he would have killed others if he hadn't run out of bullets. Wes Smith, a junior at Texas Christian University, was standing on the sidewalk near the bar. The bar's called Your Mom's House in Fort Worth, West 7th District, shortly after 1 a.m. When Matthew Purdy approached him, the cops said in the arrest warrant, Purdy, 21, briefly chatted with Smith, also 21, before shooting the former football player. Purdy then fled. Smith was taken to the local hospital where he was pronounced dead around 1:45 a.m. Smith wasn't the only one Purdy allegedly assaulted, with two people telling cops that after the shooting, the gunman had charged at them and hit one of them in the back of the head. Cops told Purdy, cops later found Purdy at a local parking lot and put him in the back of the patrol car after patting him down. One of the officers, however, eventually noticed Purdy in the back of the vehicle holding the handle of a pistol. Accused shooter, believed to have hidden the gun in his crotch, had taken the pistol apart and then chucked the pieces of the weapon out of the vehicle when the officer opened the door to check on him. Cops also found what appeared to be fresh blood in the backpack that he had been carrying, and Purdy, who did not know Smith, admitted to the police he shot the victim 3 times in the stomach and the shoulder, and once he was on the ground, the back of the head, because he wanted to make sure he was dead. The shooter told police that he didn't have a clear reason for killing Smith and only opened fire after asking the victim whether he knew his father, who had been assaulted in the area. So for some reason, this guy here killed this guy here and didn't seem to have a really good reason for it. You know, it just, there's, in this case, I don't know, it says here, the late student's family told the outlet he was an amazing and loving son, brother, cousin, and friend. Were heartbroken by the passing. Purdy, who was charged with the murder, had been on probation for aggravated robbery assault in Tarrant County. He was transferred to the jail, and his bond was $500,000. See, people like that, the people that are continually causing issues, he admitted to doing it. Just kill him. Just don't even think about it. Just kill him. There's no reason to preserve him. There's no reason to put him through trial. He admitted to doing it, and no one doubts that he did it. There's no reason to do it. And put him in jail. What's that going to do? You know, I just think they ought to just get rid of him. And yes, he probably has mental health issues, but what about the guy that just died? You know, that guy he didn't do anything. He is dead now because of this guy. I don't know. It makes me sick when I see this because, you know, that guy had no reason to have been killed other than, you know, he was at a bar. And that's not a reason to kill somebody. So, I don't know. It's a shame. If the guy should have just shot himself, then he would have saved all the hassles. Well, I'm trying to remember what that was story about. Don't remember what the story's about. Forced out of Estee Lauder for a racist meme. Oh yeah, that's right. Jack Dempsey is back with a high pro. So Jack Dempsey should know better, but he apparently doesn't. But this guy is the owner of Estee Lauder, and he was forced out of his position because he made a racist remark or a racist meme. You know, in this day and age, you know what you're doing wrong. You know you're doing things that are wrong. I mean, that's a blatant wrong. And they're not funny. It's you know, those kind of memes are hurtful, and I don't know. But anyway, so it says here, peel away the facade of fabulousness and the life, even the most powerful lifestyle star is often more than fragile than it seems. Take Jack Dempsey, the former executive president at Estee Lauder Company, the 3-decade Lauder steward. Dempsey helped steer the company from a mid-sized privately run company family to a publicly traded $100 billion company. $100 billion. I can't even imagine that. I mean, I think about the WWE selling at $7 billion, and that's just unbelievably crazy. But when you're talking about $100 billion, that's a lot of money. What does Estee Lauder do? What kind of stuff do they sell? Let's look. I'm not really familiar with them. I mean, I know the name. I just don't know what Estee Lauder. Here we are, Estee Lauder, $151 a share for their stock. Their makeup and stuff. Okay, the beauty conglomerate L'Oreal owns budget labels like. Okay, so wait a minute. So, what brands does Estee Lauder own? They own 25 brands of skincare, makeup, fragrance, and hair care products. Sold in approximately 150 countries and territories under the brand names like Estee Lauder, Aramis Clinique, Lab Series, Origins, Tommy Hilfiger, MAC, La Mer, Bobbi Brown, DKNY, Aveda, Joe Malone, London, Bumble, and Michael Kors. Well, that explains why it's $100 billion, because they have a lot of brands that they actually are name brands. So last winter, as his father lay gravely ill and his mother began battling cancer, the rest of Dempsey's world unexpectedly imploded, I should say. In early March 2022, he was forced to retire from Estee Lauder after he reposted an Instagram meme. I wonder if we can see that meme. Let's see if we can see that meme. Let's see if we can see that. They probably took it off. Oh. Okay. I guess I'm not going to know what the meme is. But, I mean, really, the guy's an adult. He should know better. It's just crazy that he actually did that. You know, his family's dying. That's no real reason to do that kind of stuff. So being the post within hours, pressure from Estee Lauder employees in call-out accounts like Estee Laundry called Dempsey's 31 career at Lauder end in barely a week, branded a racist and quieted as part of a legal agreement with his former employer. Dempsey had been canceled. Well, good. I felt like I was a victim of an identity theft, Dempsey said. The mementos of my life, of that life, cover nearly every surface of the 6-story East Side townhouse, which Dempsey, who divorced, bought in 2018, shares with his 14-year-old daughter, Marie Helene, 8 dogs, and a pair of cats. Dempsey has spent the majority of his post-Lauder existence here, sometimes angry, sometimes depressed, often exercising. He's dropped 35 pounds, but mostly copped up and clearly contrite. So, hey, the guy's it's not as if he's a pauper now. I mean, the guy still has lots of money, and he could, if he wanted something, he could, he could just basically buy it. And if he really wanted another business, he could start another business if he wanted it. He's just one of those guys that feels like his world is over. And I know people whose worlds are really over because of things that they had to go through, and he's not one of them. I don't know. I have little sympathy for people like him, which could be a big thing if Yep, I did do that. Okay. Next. I have a really, really tough time feeling sorry for that. All right, next one. Okay, you want to take it? All right. Judge strikes down Texas porn website aired age verification law. So, let's see. Grab this one. All right. And take this. All right. So, Pornhub and similar online sites scored a victory when the federal judge struck down a Texas law requiring users to verify their age and see health warnings before they enjoy their salacious material. The law signed by Texas Governor Greg Abbott and due in effect Friday is too broad and unconstitutional, according to the Judge Ezra said in his 81-page decision. Pornhub and other sites fought the Texas statute, as well as similar laws in Louisiana, Utah, Mississippi, and Arkansas. Violating the Texas law carried fines of up to $250,000. Ezra issued the court ordered blocking enforcement of the law in response to a Porn Trade Association group August 4th lawsuit. The law could endanger users' privacy as the proposed age verification tool uses government-issued identification that is traceable. And it says here, from the beginning, we have argued that Texas law and those like it are both dangerous and unconstitutional. We're pleased that the court agreed with our view and that the law's purpose are not to protect the young people, but to prevent Texas from enjoying First Amendment protected expression. The state's defense of the law was not based in science or technology, but ideology and politics. So there you go. You just enjoy your porn all you want and have at it. Good to have some kind of law on that stuff, but I don't know what law would be right. Okay. Then we got, oh, this is kind of cool. There's a ship that sank 140 years ago, and they found in nearly pristine condition with the crew's belongings, things that are just pretty much in almost new shape, other than it's been flooded. 140 years ago. Man, I think there would be a lot of antiques in that situation, and I think whoever did that, whoever gets the belongings, will probably make a lot of money. But it's kind of cool that they found this ship in Trinidad. I think Trinidad. Oh, the Trinidad was the name of the ship, I think. It says a ship that sunk in Lake Michigan 142 years ago was found nearly fully intact by Wisconsin historians. The schooner Trinidad was discovered 270 feet deep in Lake Michigan off the coast of Algoma, Wisconsin, by historians Brendan Ballard and Bob Jack. The wreck is among the best preserved shipwrecks in Wisconsin waters, with her deck house still intact, containing the crew's possessions and her anchors and deck gear still present. The boat sank in the lake in 1881. Ballard and Jack found it in July using survivor accounts and historical records, then side-scan sonar to home in the vessel's location. That's just Hey, Nixon, how you doing? I'm on my own. It's kind of a crazy thing. But, yeah. No cohorts tonight. I should get you here. You're local. But anyway, I just think it's really interesting that this ship is, was found 140 years later, and everything's there. Nobody's found it till then, I guess. Too deep. Its final journey occurred May 11th, 1881, as the Trinidad was carrying coal to Milwaukee and suffered a leak while traveling through the Sturgeon Bay Canal. The ship The ship sank 10 miles off the coast of Algoma, and taking all the crew's possessions and the captain's pet Newfoundland dog with her. Wonder if the dog's intact. Captain John Higgins believed the hull had been damaged when the ship traversed ice fields. All 9 passengers, including the captain, were survived, and they rowed 8 hours 8 hours in a boat to shore. That's going to be horrible. The original owners of the boat did not maintain it, causing its value to plummet. Insurance records show Trinidad being valued at $22,000 in 1867, but in 1878, it's only worth half of that. That's crazy. So, yeah, it's interesting to see what they find on that boat. Well, I guess there's going to be a lot of coal, since it was a coal boat. Speaking of boats, a passenger who went overboard the Wonder of the Seas cruise ship ID'd as college friends vacationing with as a college student vacationing with friends. I'd hate to fall off, one of those ships, because those things are pretty high up. I saw a lot of those ships when we were in Miami, and they dock a lot of their ships in Miami. So I wouldn't want to fall, even if you were going to still be alive after the fall. I would imagine you'd still be hurt. Although if you know how to dive, you may not be hurt too bad, but it's just crazy. It says here, the passenger who went overboard the largest cruise ship in the world this week was identified as a 19-year-old college student from Washington State who was vacationing with pals at the time. Sigmund Ropich, best known to his loved ones as Boy, was aboard Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas when he toppled into the waters. See, now I want to know how you can accidentally fall off a ship, because those ships have really high rails. You have to be screwing around if you're going to fall off one of those ships. He's a son, a big and little brother, a cousin, an uncle, a nephew, a friend, a homie, a classmate, a co-worker, and a neighbor. I just want my big brother home. Savannah said Sigmund was enjoying his trip with friends when he fell off a 230,000-ton vessel around 9 p.m. See, I don't understand how you can do that. He's known as a reserve kid who's always cool, calm, and collected. There has been no sign of him in 3 days since he had vanished in the dark waves. So we're told by the Cuban officials that they're done searching the ocean. They are continuing only the coastline, the coast and land. I have a strong feeling they're going to end this search. We're hopeful if they open search back into the ocean, we need them to open it again. The family has been largely kept in the dark about Sigmund's disappearance. The Royal Caribbean has refused to tell them how the ship's crew searched, how long the ship's crew searched for the teen. I just can't even imagine falling off one of those things. Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at it, I mean, there's rails all over it. And how do you fall off a ship like that? I would imagine that there's something that we don't know that can do it. I mean, it's 1,188 feet long and features 18 decks, can accommodate nearly 7,000 passengers and 2,300 crew members. So they didn't respond as to how the person fell off the boat, the ship. Let's see. This one's going to irritate a lot of people. Marine vet accused. The balcony rails for the rooms are really not that high. Yeah, you got to be screwing around, though, to fall off the freaking ship, I would think. I mean, unless it was a windy day or a stormy day and you got knocked over by the wind and the, rain or whatever it is. But I don't know. I guess we'll hear more about it as they figure out what the deal is. But it seems kind of odd that they would just, fall off the ship. So, and like I said, if he was at the top, he may have died just when he hit the freaking water. I don't know. That's one reason not to want to go out on a ship like that. That, or maybe he was contemplating some. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, you never know. It's possible. A Marine vet accused of stealing more than $344,000 in benefits lied on his Purple Heart application. Ugh. There's a new low out there, and that's, well, actually, it's probably not a new low. I mean, there's other people with stolen valor, but it just really is sick that this guy could have probably gotten away with this if he hadn't gone for the Purple Heart application. Probably could have gotten away with it, but I guess he wanted to see if he could become a guy with a Purple Heart. Oh wait, what happened? Oh, I did the same one. That helps if you do the right one. Okay. So I don't know. This is just kind of, I don't know. There's some things you just shouldn't do. You shouldn't just do that kind of. It says here, a Marine accused of stolen valor allegedly stole more than $344,000 in military disability benefits and submitted a Purple Heart application for injuries suffered in a roadside bombing that never occurred. Paul John, which is PJ, Herbert, 52, of Massachusetts, was indicted by a federal grand jury and arrested Friday morning on one count of theft of the government and one count of making false statements. He allegedly stole more than $344,000 in veteran disability benefits used to help veterans in need from January 2010 to March 11th, 2023, falsely representing himself as a decorated war hero injured in the line of service. Herbert served in the Marines on active duty between 1989 and 1993 and reserves from 93 to 95. Submitted an application to his local congressman for the Purple Heart in October 2018, claiming he suffered a traumatic brain injury from an IUD during the deployment to Iraq at the end of the Gulf War. He not only stole tens of thousands of dollars in disability benefits that are supposed to be used to help veterans in need, but he also falsely claimed to have suffered a traumatic brain injury during his deployment. Stealing from our country, veterans, or claiming valor where there is none is an insult to the honorable service members who sacrificed for our safety. Herbert's false claims were unearthed last August when he was forced to apologize to his fellow veterans for embellishing his military service and receiving awards and money he had not earned. I need to feel important. I started feeling important and feeling good about myself, and I didn't know didn't know a way out. I know I hurt a lot of people that trusted me and cared about me and everything else. The Upper Pioneer Valley Veterans Services started investigating a report of Herbert's false claims in the fall of 2021. The service was tipped off after about Herbert's fraudulent claims after the deputy director of the organization, Christopher DeMars, attended an event where the alleged Stoller Valor veteran spoke of his time in Iraq with fellow veterans. He canceled his. He claimed to have survived a deadly IUD attack in northern Iraq while conducting military operations with the British Marines to defend fleeing Kurdish refugees following the end of the Persian War. He claimed British service members were killed in the attack. IEDs were not a thing until Afghanistan and Iraq, the mayor said. Herbert later told the outlet that no IED was explosion and no Royal Marines were killed. Herbert's account of the attack was not documented in his DD-214 document, a document of release or discharge from active duty from the service members upon leaving the military. Herbert admitting using an experience DeMars had shared with him in a private about seriously wounded in Afghanistan. And the alleged fraudster recounted his as his own during an interview with Daily Hampshire Gazette in 2018. 27-year-old DeMars is a 27-year-old U.S. Army veteran who served in both Iraq and Afghanistan and was awarded 2 Purple Hearts and a Bronze Star with Valor. Told Herbert of the time he regained consciousness by hearing medical helicopters propellers coming for him during after being injured. Man, I can't even imagine what he's I mean, he could have got away with everything probably if he hadn't gone for the last thing. Let's see. Why did I put that in there twice? Okay. This is a strange one. So this school district, California school district, has to pay $2.25 million to a sex abuse victim of a teacher who gave birth to the student's baby. Yes, it was a female, and the student that impregnated her, I think, was like 16 or 15 or something like that. This is just so weird to think about, that this woman gave birth to I mean, this kid was barely old enough to be a father. I mean, I guess he was old enough to be a father because he ended up being a father. But I don't know. This is stuff that we always like to think that women aren't as crazy as men, but she proved that they are actually crazier. A South California school district will shell out $2.25 million to a sex abuse victim of a teacher who was impregnated by another student. The settlement begins a total amount paid by Redlands Unified School District to Laura Whithurst victims to $8.25 million since her arrest in 2013. So they've been out of this for 10 years. The latest lawsuit was in 2021 by a former Redlands High School student who claimed Whitehurst preyed on him in 2007 and 2008 when he was just 14 years old. And according to the attorney, it says here, Whitehurst later admitted to having sex with him as much as 15 times inside her San Bernardino classroom and her apartment. The English teacher and soccer coach pleaded guilty to unlawful sex to 3 former students with whom where'd it go? With one who she shares a baby. She served 6 months in jail and registered as a sex offender in 2014. The same year she gave birth. The school district agreed in 2016 to pay another victim, the father of the teacher's child, $6 million for the abuse. Okay. This is just a studio class, so I'm watching for a little till my boyfriend starts streaming on Twitch. So you do games? Okay, so the only thing I have to say about this is that these guys that say that they were sexually abused, I'm a guy. I would have loved to have had sex at 15, 16 with a teacher. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird, but I don't think that it's sex abuse when a male's involved. I just think that it's just a horny woman. So I do understand it with a woman, or with a girl and a male, and even a girl and a female. I just don't think it's really sexual abuse, and I don't think that $2.25 million, that's a lot of money. I mean, I think the son should, the boy should actually have to pay for the sex. I don't know. I just don't understand how, maybe I just don't understand how people think, because, I don't know. I think that that's a lot of money. I mean, it's one thing when it's when a male's taking advantage of a female. But I don't know. I don't feel, I mean, if they did it, what was it? She said she did it like, where was it? She said she did it like, 14, he was 14 years old. She did it 15 times. The kid obviously wasn't abused. He kept coming back for more. So I don't really think it's been abuse, but I do agree that she should go to jail, but I just don't think they should get that much money. That's a lot of money. But, yeah. And I guess she's out of jail, I'm thinking right now. So, because all she had to do was like, it said like, she served 6 months in jail and registered as a sex offender. So if it was such a big deal, they would have kept her in jail a lot more than 6 months. So I think that they're just paying money for nothing, and they're chicks for free. Anyway, that's my opinion, and not necessarily that of the management. Oh, wait a minute, I am the management. It's the opinion of the management that she, I just think it's a lot of money. People just are enjoying bringing all that money in. All right, woman shot dead. Oh, okay. Okay, so here's a situation where sometimes it doesn't pay to help your friend, because sometimes the woman and the dog were shot dead when they were trying to help their friend get out of an abusive relationship. So this is a situation. No, it is abuse. It is not. If I would have loved to have had sex when I was underage, but I didn't get it. I didn't get that. I was an ugly kid. Well, I mean, you know. But anyway, I know that there's no woman in this planet that's going to agree with me on this. So I know that that I'm totally wrong in their eyes, and I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird that guys are not scarred by a woman that had sex with it. I mean, well, that's not true. I've been scarred by a woman that I've had sex with, but that's because she didn't treat me very well. And Anyway. A young woman and her pet dog were fatally shot in Texas over the weekend while trying to help a friend leave an abusive relationship. Police were called into an apartment in Houston and discovered a woman and later identified as 28-year-old, why can't we have normal names? Shatavia Reddick. Multiple gunshot wounds in the elevator lobby. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez called the incident a tragic situation stemming from domestic violence. Reddick had arrived at the apartment to try to help her friend leave an ongoing domestic disturbance before the boyfriend, Dimitri Humphrey, allegedly opened fire on her and her dog, killing both of them. Reddick was pronounced dead at the scene. Meanwhile, Humphrey allegedly fled in a white Jeep Wrangler from the apartment complex. This guy here. And they're still searching for him. So Humphrey's girlfriend was not harmed in the shooting. Of course not. It was the girlfriend that lived and the friend of the girlfriend and the dog that died. Gonzalez said Humphrey is wanted on unrelated felony warrants. Now he's going to be charged with murder. So it doesn't really pay. It doesn't pay to be a good Samaritan in that case. Let's see. We talked about the Loch Ness Monster, and I did that last week, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about it again, but I'm going to talk about it again. Loch Ness Monster sleuth claims he won the lottery with recent footage. Now, my big thing about the Loch Ness Monster is this. The Loch Ness Monster, Sasquatch, unicorns, pink elephants, they're all non-existent, and as far as I'm concerned. And it's funny how the Loch Ness Monster and Sasquatch, I mean, with today's technology, I said this last week, somebody would have a picture, a clear picture that shows that the Loch Ness Monster actually exists. But nobody has a clear picture of it. Nobody does. And that just tells me that they don't exist and that they're a farce, and that anybody that believes that they exist, they got some issues. So, what is this? Oh, I might have to look that one up to see what that one is. Anyway, so as far as I'm concerned, they don't exist. Now, here's the picture that people always see. This is the supposed Loch Ness Monster picture. But the Loch Ness Monster, apparently that one was fake, a fake picture. Now they have new pictures. Longtime Loch Ness Monster sleuth says he won the lottery by recording a new video of the mythical creature, possibly its 8th sighting this year. But some Nessie enthusiasts poo-pooed the footage. The picture belongs to an exhibit to do with the Loch Ness Monster. I won the lottery with this video clip. The clip was taken August 27th, which was my birthday, actually, by some name I can't pronounce, Ophaeod Hagen, an Irishman who watches the mythical creature over a webcam. It was the 8th time that Nessie was reported this year. I want to see one and not the Disney ride. Okay. Anyway, the footage was taken on August 27th. The grainy footage shows a black mass breaking the water surface about 11 a.m. before quickly dunking back underneath the water. I immediately knew it first submerged and began to move that this is no large fish. Fish do not have wakes. The emergence of this creature from the water and its movement is uncharacteristic of a seal or an otter. So what could be bigger than those two creatures in Loch Ness? Only the Loch Ness Monster. See, this is the footage. This does not tell you anything. This is where he says it is. This doesn't tell you anything. That looks like it could be an alligator for all I know. That doesn't say it's, you know, it's just ridiculous. They want people to believe that this thing exists. But with all the video equipment that we have in today's world, there's no reason we shouldn't have a crystal clean picture of this monster. But we don't. Have a good night. You do too. I hope you have a great night. But I guess Harry and the Hendersons falls under Disney. Yeah, I think it does. So I don't know. I just think that people are crazy thinking that this thing's real, because this is definitely doesn't tell you anything. And why don't we have a picture of it? We should have a picture of it. So, webcams. We can actually look up. Let's see what this thing looks like. Spectacular. Even if you don't believe in it. Okay, there's Loch Ness, I guess. Oh, and they even have a little Loch Ness monster in its advert. So, inspire me. Things to do. Let's see what things you can do in Loch Ness. How about see the Loch Ness monster? Probably not in here. Pet friendly. That would be Loch Ness. Okay, where's the loch at? Castles, history, and attractions. Let's check attractions. See if it's under attractions. This stuff just amazes me that people really believe in this. That's a filter. Okay. Well, how do we, it shows it. Now what happens? That's nice. We can actually discover Loch Ness by boat. There we go. We can get a boat. Jeez. I don't know. People just, I can't believe people actually believe this is still around. Where's that live camera? There it is, live camera. See if we can see the Loch Ness monster. Find Nessie. Okay. All right, let's see. We got it must be dark there. I thought it would be, what time is it? I guess it would still be dark there. Oh well. Guess we're not going to see the Loch Ness monster. Wait, there it is. Right there. They got all kinds of cameras. Oh, man. And people really actually... the places, the accommodations, they would love you to believe that it's there. It's 6 hours ahead of us. Oh, okay, so it is the middle of the night. Okay. All right, well, you should be here so you can help me. Highest number of sightings in the country, I believe. Well, yeah. All right, anyway, so I don't think Nessie's going to come out. I don't think we're ever going to see Nessie. Now, this is... All right. Then, now this here... Oh, all right. That's interesting. Oh, boy. Corruption. Come on. Here's another Biden corruption. It's not a big deal, but it's still stupid. I saw this when I was posting the other things, and I just happened to grab this while it was there. Okay. Cops called after Jennifer Granholm, staffer, uses gas-powered card to hold an EV charging spot for Biden Energy Secretary. Jeez. A Georgia family called 911 earlier this summer after a staffer for Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm used a non-electric vehicle to hog the only electric charging station outside a local Walmart while the Biden administration official was still en route. Granholm, 65, was on a 4-day road trip on North Carolina to Tennessee, promoting green energy with a traveling caravan of electric and non-electric vehicles, when a member of the advanced team used a gasoline-powered car to reserve a charging station for her, angering at least one family who had been waiting in line. The inconsiderate practice is known as icing, a reference used for an internal combustion engine. I've heard of icing because a lot of trucks like to park in the charging spaces so that people can't charge the car. The inconsiderate practice is known as icing, a reference to an internal combustion engine inside gasoline-powered vehicles, and is subject to a $100 fine in Washington, D.C., where the Department of Energy is headquartered, but it's not illegal in Grovetown, where the June incident occurred. There's literally a non-electric car that is taking up a space. Who said they're holding a space to somebody else? It's holding a whole bunch of people who are in need of charging their cars. These people. Well, they have 3 spaces. Why are you saying there are only 2? Or why are you saying there's only 1? That's, I don't know. People should just get over it. They shouldn't be holding the space for anybody. And if that's the only space they have in that area, then they need to make more charging spaces. Oh, these people. The charging station opened up. While the woman was in line with 911, but she noted the other people are waiting to charge, and they're still here. That's not an electric car, and the sign says it has to be. You can't park here unless you're charging. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to the scene, but was not able to rectify the situation since practice is not illegal there. Well, they need to make it illegal. I mean, the thing is, the people that generally hold those spaces are doing it out of spite. In this case, it's not necessarily out of spite, but it should be illegal because, they can go wherever they want to get gas, and we can't necessarily do that with our cars. So, this is interesting because it's in Pennsylvania, and a friend of mine lives, he said he lives real close to where this is happening. I think he said 10 miles from where this is happening. An inmate escaped from prison, and they can't find him. And it just happens to be like 10 miles from my friend's house, which is scary because he apparently shaved, and so people don't really know what he looks like shaven. They ought to shave people when they come into so they get a video or a picture of them with a beard and without a beard. But it says here. Okay. So this guy's name. Danilo Cavalcante. Maybe clean shaven and may have access to a vehicle. New purported photos of the convicted killer on the run, and after breaking out of the Pennsylvania prison, show he has shaven his beard. As police said, the fugitive might have obtained a vehicle an inch north from the prison he escaped from. The new details come from some 400 police officers said to be looking for Danilo as the manhunt for the escaped criminal entered its 11th day on Sunday. Just before 4:30 a.m. Sunday, police shared new images of him, 34, who escaped from a life sentence at Chester County Prison on August 31st. The images captured on a Ring camera in East Pikeland Township, Pennsylvania, show a man believed to be Danilo sporting a clean-shaven look in favor of the scruffy beard and mustache he donned behind bars. In the photos, the man believed to be a fugitive is wearing a black baseball-style hat, a yellow or green hooded sweatshirt, and green prison pants and white shoes. So, yeah, that's the guy there. And that's what he apparently looks like without his beard. Police said on Sunday they now believe that Danilo is in possession of a vehicle. While they were unsure of the vehicle's make, they said it may be white. Maybe white, might be black, who knows. He crab walked the 2 walls of the county prison to escape on August 31st. The 5-foot killer was behind bars for stabbing his girlfriend in 2021. Previously, in November of 2017, he allegedly confronted a friend in the middle of town over money and gunned him down while he lived in Brazil. Ooh, that guy's a real winner. He eventually made his way to the U.S. using a fake identity, later slaying his partner 4 years later in front of her young son and daughter. A week after being sentenced in August, he escaped and has been on the run since. So it showed a video up here. I don't know if that video, let's see here. Let's see if this video shows, I saw at the beginning, if this is the right footage. No. I need to redo this. It showed him scaling the prison wall. Let's see. All right, there we go. We got the thing back. Let's see if we got it here. As long as there's no. See if we got it here. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is really weird. So here, this is him here. Here's how he scaled the wall, kind of like American Ninja Warrior. Watch this. That's kind of weird to think about that, but who would have thought that that would have been the way that he escaped prison? That's crazy. Just it doesn't seem to. It's weird because it doesn't. Who would have thought? You know, he must be the first guy that did it that way, or else he's the first guy that caught it, that they caught doing it. But that's how he escaped. Jeez. People. Let's see. All right. Getting near the end here already. Hey, I'm missing something up there. What are you guys talking about? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's crazy. All right, where are we at here? Oh, this is sometimes you think people are smart, and they just aren't. They just aren't smart. People are not smart. They do the stupidest things, and they get caught, and then they say, "Oh, I don't understand why it happened." And this guy deserved to be caught, by the way. He accidentally recorded a voicemail of himself killing mom's boyfriend. I don't know how you accidentally record your voice in voicemail. You must be really pretty dumb to do that. But here, Here's what the story is here. An Indiana man locked in his own 85-year sentence after accidentally recording the murder of his mother's boyfriend in voicemail. Cody Allen Wade, hey, actually not a hard name to say for the first time today, was handed down a hefty punishment Wednesday after he was found guilty last month of the 2020 killing of Carl Haviland. Wade had left a voicemail on his mother's phone in seconds before he stabbed Haviland 4 times, but failed to hang up before carrying out the attack. His mother was also present to witness her son kill her boyfriend. The defendant repeatedly stabbed Carl Haviland not only in the front of the defendant's own mother, but did so in spite of her efforts to physically prevent him from committing the crime. After stabbing Haviland, Wade kicked and taunted the victim. The killer plotted his crime beforehand. Wade left a cookout and headed to his mom's house in Brazil, a city about 60 miles southwest of Indianapolis, stopping along the way to another man's house to tell him he was about to kill someone. Why is Brazil so freaking filled with crazy people? Let's see here. At the time he was on parole for arson. He had been released from jail March 2020, just 2 months before the murder. He was sentenced to 60 years for the murder, with an additional 15 years added since he was found to be a habitual offender. Wade was given 10 years for 2 separate accounts of felony battery on a public safety official. And see, this is the thing. This is a guy that's a habitual offender. So why do we keep putting him in prison? This is a guy we should just kill off, get rid of the problem. That's what we need to do. So I don't know. People just it would be a simple solution. But yeah, that's just really bizarre. But the guy wasn't smart enough to hang up his phone. Why does it say Brazil, though? He's from Indiana. I don't know. Oh, this is one we'll go out on. This is the last show, or the last article. A New Jersey teacher who resigned after posting an ex-student's nude pics is hired by another school. That kind of scumbag shouldn't be hired to do anything. He should be put in jail. And, well, maybe he doesn't need to be killed because he didn't do anything to kill anyone, but he does need to, have retribution for what he did do. Okay, here it is. A New Jersey high school student, or a New Jersey high school teacher who resigned after posting naked photos of a former student online was hired by another school district. Christopher Doyle, a former math teacher at Wall High School, was ordered last month to pay Caitlin Cannon, 29, $10,000 for posting intimate pictures on her on a revenge porn website. Doyle resigned in 2019 over litigation over a breach of Cannon's privacy, but was quickly hired by Perth Amboy High School, just a county away. As of Friday, cricket started making noise. As of Friday, Doyle was listed as an active employee at the school, despite officials' insistence that he was not working in the district. It's my opinion that he shouldn't be allowed to teach in schools. I agree with that. Cannon, who was the girl that he did the pictures of, that's something important to me. It doesn't sit right. Officials at Perth Amboy High School did not immediately respond. So it says here, Cannon's nightmare began in 2018 when she received messages that the naked selfies she sent to a boyfriend while attending Penn State were uploaded to Dutch revenge porn's website. And the website listed photos under Cannon's first name, last initial, and Wall Township, where she grew up. As Cannon and her family received the influx of messages about the photos, investigators revealed the disturbing fact that the pictures were uploaded from Doyle's computer, the very man who taught her in high school and coached her sister's tennis team. I think for me, it's already something that I was dealing with and struggling with, that these photos were online and I didn't intend for anyone to see. Once I found out that it was my former math teacher, it was extremely upsetting. It hit a lot closer to home. It made me feel scared, paranoid, violated, that someone in my real life was doing this. I just imagined before it was someone else I didn't know. Doyle testified in court that he had re-uploaded the naked pictures to the forum because he feared it would be shut down due to inactivity. Cannon's lawyer, however, claimed that the reverse image search showed that Doyle's uploads were the only of their kind. And before leaving Wall High School, Doyle posted an apology on Facebook describing himself as someone who made a mistake but wasn't a bad person. For any of you I hurt or perceived that I hurt, I truly am sorry, and I can only hope you can forgive me. Yeah, sounds like he doesn't really believe it himself. It's unclear how Doyle got a hold of Cannon's photos, as her boyfriend, whom she sent them to, claimed to have lost his phone. Since then, Cannon has since then set up a TikTok account using the handle Revenge Porn Girl to share her experience to mental effects of revenge porn. She has now a master's degree in social work to help victims of sexual abuse. So, yeah, that's kind of a shame. It's a shame that there are people out there that do that kind of stuff. So for the last thing, I'm going to play a song that my friend Ken and I wrote about 9/11, and so that's what we're going to leave with. And I hope that you enjoyed the show, and we'll never forget about 9/11. It's actually been 20 years, or no, 22 years. 22 years. That's crazy. But here we go with the song and video. So I hope you enjoy it as much as you can enjoy it. So I'm waiting for it to play. All right. I'll see you next week.
still the one.